There's another battle we've been keeping a close eye on that if you look away for a second, somebody else might grab it. It's been sort of a case of musical chairs, and it's been about the top run scorers, Joy. You never know who's in front.
No, I've really enjoyed this, and one of the reasons I've enjoyed this is that, we've been following Orange Caps for a long time, and there are years where Chris Gayle or Virat Kohli runs away with it. In the last 2-3 years, some players have dominated it. So, I think Rahul won it last year with 670, and the next guy was Dhawan with 618. It's a pretty far margin. And then the year before that, Warner won it. What is fantastic about this? Let's take a look. Of the 5 batsmen, how many Indian batsmen out there? 4 Indian batsmen out there. Number one. Of them, only 2 play regularly for India, or 1 plays regularly for India at this point in time. KL Rahul is the only one playing T20s regularly for India. You have Shikhar Dhawan, who's just made his way back. Sanju Samson, who's played 1 match. Ruturaj Gaikwad, who's just again, he's on the fringe. He got a chance in Sri Lanka. And that is great for Indian cricket, I think. Yeah, I think Sean has a point to make.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to say too, when you look at that table, and it's an interesting thing to keep in mind is that there's 2 of those players, for example, Rahul and Samson. Will they be around in the playoffs? That is the key to who ends up winning, because Gaikwad's thinking to himself, okay, I'm only, 11 plus, so I'm 19 runs ahead of KL Rahul, and he's got another innings still to play. But Shikhar Dhawan and du Plessis will definitely be in the playoffs, and he's a long way ahead of them. So that also dictates terms as to who's going to end up on top with regards to this Orange Cap.
It certainly does. And Joy, after pointing out the Indian players there, I think one more point I'd like to make in today's game, and we've seen it in a few games in this tournament, and that's the theme you'd like for an Indian tournament. You want to see the Indian players perform, not because you want to just give them chances, because you're outperforming international players. Think of the international players on the stage today. Du Plessis, Curran, Hazelwood, David Miller, Glenn Phillips, all top impact international players. But who are the ones who emerge on top? Every Indian player from Gaikwad to Jaiswal to Dubey. Only Evan Lewis was the international player who shone.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. And I think that's great news for Indian cricket. It's also great news because some of these guys we always talked about in terms of potential. And I think especially Shivam Dube has turned the corner. And innings like this is a kind of innings that suddenly makes you feel you belong in this stage. Otherwise, he was always given a fair amount of money in the last 2 auctions, but he's never delivered. And I think suddenly he's looking at it and saying that, I belong to this stage. It'll make a difference to his career as well.